pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Village Clerk, please call roll.
Here.
Gordon. Here. Meyer. Here. Hoskin. Here. Washington.
Here.
Williams.
All right, with item number 2, public comment, questions or comments. As we directed to the mayor, speaker to give up to 3 minutes to comment on topics on agenda items only. The speaker will be given 1 opportunity to speak. If anyone wants to come to the mic.
Speak up, speak, I can't hear you.
Mary Block.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the Easter egg hunt. There's going to be pictures of the Easter bunny. Is there going to be a chart for those? And who is going to make out with those pictures if there is a chart?
I would encourage you to talk to the chair afterwards for that committee, because it's not part of the agenda.
Well, Parks and Rec is on the is it not?
It's not part of one of the agenda items that we're voting on anything tonight. So you can get with the chair for that committee.
Okay.
All right? Sorry. John, if you appreciate it, get with her, appreciate it. All right. All right, if I don't see anyone else coming to the mic, we'll move to item number 3, reports from the West. If you have questions or comments, please come to the mic, because we'll move right along. Go ahead, Mr. Rickman.
I have a few questions I'd like to ask. I'd like to know why didn't the moderator or the moderators, why didn't they let the public answer some of the questions?
Are you asking questions about what's on the agenda? Tonight's agenda items only. Tonight's a business meeting, a board meeting. This is on agenda items only. If you got some questions afterwards, I'll sit down and talk to you. If I can answer them, I'll try, but sorry. All right, anyone else for agenda items only tonight? All righty, moving right along to the mayor's report. First of all, I just want to make sure everyone knows that this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11, we've got Meet the Mayor here at the Village Hall. Come out and ask those questions. And if you have any other questions, look free to come out. There's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things we're going to talk about what's going on this weekend. But we have a full day of events here at the Village Hall. We've got the Meet the Mayor at 9 o'clock. You've got the Arts and Crafts Show, which is going to be at the Community Center. You've got the Senior Chili Cook-Off. So we got a lot of things happening here at the Village Hall within our municipal center. So look forward to everything out. Next thing is this last Sunday, Grace United Church of Christ. They had a prayer event on different corners here in Sauk Village, praying to stop the violence, and pray for our community, pray for our leaders. I was able to participate in that. We had a pretty good turnout. They had a luncheon or something, I think, afterwards at the church, which I didn't get to attend, but I did get to go out to one of the corners and spend some time with some of the ones that came out for that. So I'd like to thank their pastor there, Pastor Sheaton. She's new to the community, and she's got a great vision and a great outlook about our community. So again, I'd like to thank Pastor Sheaton. I know that Pastor Pitts, his son, came out on the corner I was at. So again, thank Pastor Pitts for being involved also. So we've got that. Just let the residents know that yesterday I attended the Senate appropriation hearing on the LGDF and the property tax raise that the governor is proposing. So we were downtown with there was quite a few mayors from across the state and quite a few COGs that were there. So we got to testify. I wasn't one who was to testify. I just did an appearance and supported the mayors that were there for testifying on how the cutting of the LGDF funds, how it affects our village. For residents to realize the LGDF funds, or at least we'll call them LGD funds, this is something that goes back to an agreement that was between the mayors of the state of Illinois going all the way back to 1969. The governor's proposed is to cut 50 cents per resident. How that affects Sauk Village is that's over a $500,000 cut in our budget for this next year. He's also looking at cutting our MFT funds And there's other funds that come into this village. So, we're looking at probably losing close to $500,000. Or we are looking at losing $500,000 just on the LPDF portion, but we're looking at losing more for the other funds that the governor's proposing cuts. So this is a tough budget, but it's not just a tough budget for Sauk Village, tough budget for every single community. You can figure the city of Chicago, they were there. They're looking at losing close to $1.5 million in their budget this next year. We put numbers to it. One of the senators asked, what does that mean? For the residents, let me give you an example. Our police budget is around $3 million. Over $500,000 figure that would get to our police budget. Our fire department budget is just under, or just a little over $500,000. Just about $500,000, that'd be your entire fire department. You look at your public works department, and there's about $4.4 million. Think about what that would do, losing $500,000 for that. So this is money that's used for your police department, your fire department, your public works. This is what we use for the services for our community. When it comes to plowing our streets, putting salt on our streets for safety. We were there before the Senate Appropriations Committee, informing them what it does to our communities and how it's going to affect. And you think about it, it's just not affecting our personnel and the services that we provide. It also affects how money goes back into our community. So we are staying close eye on that. With that said, on Friday, the governor's coming to the city of Chicago. I'm already taking the day off work, so I can make sure that I'm there representing the village of Sauk Village. Right now, we currently have 82 mayors that have already signed up to be there to meet with the governor. There's a push to see how many more mayors we can get to attend this. So on Friday, I will be downtown again, this time meeting with the governor. So that said, and there's a couple other things here that I'll probably bring up at the end of the meeting, but yes. So I got to meet with some of our senators yesterday. I got to see Donnie Trotter and some of the other senators that affect our surrounding suburbs. We got to talk to Senator Hastings. So I got to talk to him. And we got to talk to Toy Hutchinson. She was there yesterday, and again, there's some other senators that we talked to, and their names. Keep a close eye on this. You're going to see that we're coming out from the mayor's offices. We're coming out with some strong statements. At the same time, we're trying to work with our new governor. We're trying to work with our Senate. We're trying to work with our House of Representatives. We're just trying to make sure that they understand exactly what these funds are used for. So, with that said, move to the clerk that we
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, the Share the Warmth coat drive was a success, but there's still plenty of coats in the hallway, and by Friday they will probably be donated to a facility of some sort locally. So if anybody sees anything in the hallway that they can use, or that they know someone else can use, spring is here, at least it seems like it is. I don't know for how long. So please take advantage of the coats that are in the hallway. They will probably be gone by Friday. Second of all, there's a lot of important dates that I need to announce. First of all, starting with February 26th was the first day to apply for a mail ballot. Those are available online and at the front desk at the Village Hall. Today was the last day to register to vote. However, starting March 11th, it's the first day of grace period registration and voting. On March 23rd, it's the first day of early voting. April 2nd is the last day mail ballot applications are accepted, including military and overseas. April 4th, last day of early voting. April 4th, last day of grace period registration and voting. April 6th, the last day that mail ballots can be postmarked. And April 7th is election day. Also, there is no meeting on March 31st, which is a fifth Tuesday. So there's also no meeting on Election Day, which is April 7th. So again, we've got a couple of consecutive weeks with no meetings. The schedule that was put in the hallway and online and distributed at the beginning of the year showed that there was no meeting on April 14th. There will be a meeting on April 14th because that's the only day that the school district can do student government. So that schedule will be changed. Student Government Day will be April 14th, and that's why we have to have a meeting that day. Due to the park testing, that was the only day, and also they had their spring break coming up, so that's the only day that that could happen. And lastly, I would like to please again tell everybody there's a lot of ways to get information about what's going on in your village, and I wish people would take advantage of it. I'm hearing that there's a lack of communication and a lack of us communicating with the residents. I know everybody on this dais looks forward to speaking with our residents and making sure that they have correct information. So we have the Sauk Village website, we have the Sauk Village Facebook information, Sauk Village information Facebook page. We have Sauk Village e-blast. We have people at the front desk from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, willing to write your questions down and pass it on to the appropriate person. I personally will take your phone calls. I will answer any emails. I'm not here on a daily basis. I'm a part-time clerk. However, I do come in my office at least 4 or 5 times a week. I do listen to my messages and I do respond. And I know that the trustees and the mayor do the same thing. So please, if you have any questions, if there's anything that you're not sure of, if you're hearing information on the street, it's a political season, I get that. There's a lot of misinformation. If you're not sure what the truth is, I can direct you to the minutes. I can direct you to the ordinance, to the resolution. I can direct you to the time the discussions were held. I can put you in touch with the person who has the facts. Please take time and find the facts out before you assume that everything you hear on social media is correct. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Very much. Move to village attorney, Mr. Attorney Macker,
Thanks, Mayor. Nothing to report tonight.
Move to reports of trustees and board committees, Parks and Recs Committee, Trustee Posse.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I would like to remind everybody that the baseball signups are ongoing. They will be this Friday from 5 to 7. Saturday, they will have a table to craft show, so it will be from 9 to 3. And then again on Monday, they'll have from 5 to 7. The craft show will run over at the community center from 9 to 3 this Saturday. Come on out. We've got quite a few vendors coming, so we need to get some people out to support this. Easter egg hunt will be April 4th, starting at noon. We do have pony rides, magic guy coming by, and we'll have an Easter bunny, and there will be photos taken. I'd like to say thank you to the Public Works for a great job over at the community center. The main room of the community center has been painted. It looks very nice. If you have a chance to come out and see it, come on out and see it. That's the community center, not the gym. The next part will be the gym. So after they finish the little touch-ups in the community center. But again, say thank you very much for the work that they've done over there, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee. Beautification Committee. We have here the Beautification Committee is always looking for new committee members, and we are always looking for a fresh and new idea. Volunteers are always welcome as well. The committee meets on the third Wednesday of every month. The committee is discussing this year's Hootsies, along with fundraisers to help fund the committee for the many projects that they have planned. The next committee meeting will be here at the Village Hall, March the 18th at 7 p.m. The meeting will be held in one of the conference rooms as there is other events scheduled for the board room. Thank you. Move to Ordinance Review Committee, Trustee Myers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple items tonight. First of all, the Ordinance Review Committee will not be meeting this week. I'm still waiting on some information from the police department on the new ordinance. We really need that information. As soon as we get it, we'll then act on it. And the second thing is that we have received word back from the controller. The new state controller has signed us, state controller, that will be working with the village of Sauk Village. And we also have a state number assigned to us. Mr. Mohan says that he was in contact with the person today, and everything looks good. Our first test tickets will be processed. There are 50 of them. They'll be going through a test cycle where everybody work out the bugs in it, and then from that point on, they will receive them. And I believe he said 100 at a time, 100 or so at a time until we go through entire allotment, which is about 1,800 of them. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Move to Intergovernmental Relations Committee, trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next meeting will be the first Thursday of May. We will not have a meeting this month nor April. It will be the first Thursday of May here at Village Hall, 7 o'clock. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Move to Neighborhood Watch Committee, trustee Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I just want to say that I really appreciate the Neighborhood Watch Committee. I have a lot of hard-working block club captains and a hard-working committee that work ongoing every week, knocking on doors, reminding residents to turn their front and back lights on. And I just want to thank them for the hard job and the hard work that they do continuously. It's not every other month or bi-monthly. This is an ongoing process that we have trying to engage the community to turn their front and back lights on. And the people that volunteered their time to come out and do that consistently, I just appreciate the committee for doing that with the Neighborhood Watch. And we had a very, very good meeting last night, a very interesting meeting. Trustee Myers and I got into some friendly fighting, trying to answer residents' questions. They have a lot of questions that they want to ask. And he'll say, oh, I got to answer, like, well, she's not answering this, she's answering this. So we have a lot of engaging back and forth with the residents about things that they want to know about. And it's just a really, really good committee that come out with some really serious questions and they want answers. And we had 2 candidates that stopped by last night, and it was just a very good meeting. We also had a wonderful presenter that's a licensed and registered respiratory director for her office, and she came and did a live demonstration for CPR. So at the block club captains are on their block, and somebody passed out, or they see somebody unconscious, we had a live demonstration. She showed them how to do the maneuver, a Heimlich maneuver, and how to do CPR with an infant as well as an adult. So we learned a lot last night that could help the residents of Sauk Village. And I just wanted to give that report on tonight and thank Trustee Myers again because he had to pull his chair over because we were really fighting, friendly fighting, going back and forth trying to answer these questions. You have to come to Neighborhood Watch. I invite all of you to come the second Monday of every month to the fire station at 7:30. You will not be disappointed. We had a very good time, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. Move to Public Relations Community Outreach Partnership Committees, trustee Williams.
Thank you. The Student Government Day essays were judged last week, and winners were chosen. For those of you that were not aware, the topic this year was bullying and how it affected the students and what they would do to counteract bullying. And just to say that we had less essays than we've had in past years. So it was challenging to find the winners, but the essays in total, as a committee, really kind of saddened us to hear the stories that the kids were telling. Some were supposed to be a story. They made them into a story. Some of them actually internalized the question and went from there. So it definitely kind of made the committee think about what's happening in our schools and how the kids are reacting to what's happening in our schools. So just to let you guys know that, as the village clerk says, to the government will be April 14th. We thank everybody who came out for the casino trip for fundraising. Thank you very much. And also we thank everybody who handed in money to me today for the fundraiser. So we thank you. We continue to accept any donations. Just today, thank you, Trustee Burgess, Trustee Myers, Steve Shimkus, and Chief Soffrigan. Anybody else who would like to donate, don't hesitate to bring some money to myself or my mother for Student Government Day. We still have time. Also, the Sauk Talk will be ready Friday online, as well as the Village Hall. For the Community Outreach Partnership Committee, apologize to Chief Lewis. I did state 2 weeks ago that we were not going to have a meeting today, and I failed to remind him of that. So we will be meeting 2 weeks from tonight. We did not meet tonight because of the executive session. So, barring an executive session, we will meet in 2 weeks. And that is my report.
No promises. Number 5, reports of departments, committees, and commissions. Fire Department 911 Commission, Chief Soffrigan.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Over the past 2 weeks, fire department responded to 17 calls. vehicle accident, 7 fire alarms, 3 medical assists, 3 CO alarms, 1 stove fire, 1 truck fire, and 1 electrical. I know it's been published on TV and your handouts when the time changed. We need to get these detectors, the batteries changed. Here lately, we've been picking up quite a few calls, getting out there and finding dead batteries. It's your lives, not my life, your lives. I changed my batteries just a little again. And that is my
Chief, would you like to say anything about your fire department pancake breakfast on the 29th?
29th.
May 1, March 29th, if you're not doing anything on Sunday morning, please come out to the fire department. It's a great breakfast. So,
Mr. Mayor, I do know that the Easter Bunny will be there.
great. All right, thank you very much. So bring your kids, bring your grandkids out, get pictures of the Easter Bunny. All right, move to police department. Chief Lettuce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just like to report latest calls for service for the time period of February 25th through March 10th. The police department responded to a total of 717 calls for service. 49 of those were suspicious activity, 136 traffic, 40 parking violations, 64 other service, 31 domestics, 10 disturbance. We responded to 9 traffic accidents, 47 burglar alarms, 47 ambulance assists, and 122 building checks. I'd like to, on a positive note, I'd like to make a little bit of an announcement here. The past weekend, our K-9 officer, Chad Frederickson, along with K-9 Falco, competed for the first time in the American Police K-9 Association. They have a big conference, and they have a training where there's 30 K-9 teams, and they all compete against each other. There's various avenues that they have to compete in. It's drug detection, tracking, weapons recovery, things of that sort. I'd like to say that Officer Frederickson and K-9 Focal placed 6th out of 30 teams, and this is the first time that they've ever competed. So congratulations to them. And for those of you who don't know, Officer Frederickson does spend a lot of time with his dog training, and a lot of that is done on his own time. Also, one other small thing is Officer Frederickson is, along with several other people, are sponsoring a K-9 fundraiser this Saturday at Jellies in Dyer, and that is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I do have a few tickets here if anybody's interested. And that completes my report tonight.
Thank you, Chief. Okay. Isn't there across the shoulders? Across from McDonald's, where more or less, I think you can turn McDonald's or you can turn in the other parking lot.
That's a plus.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. Move to the Public Works Department, Director Kevin Muller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just as the Public Works Department is very understaffed, so we need more staff. That's my first comment. Ongoing problems in Sauk Village. We've had some issues with some street light issues, some wire issues. We don't have any control of the wire issues that connect to the backyards. These are ComEd issues. On the average for a ComEd light to be hooked back up to their own pole, it takes roughly about 30 days. Sometimes it takes 60 days. It's under their scheduling, storm scheduling, or whatever their schedule might do. But we've had an ongoing on 219th and Jeffrey and 219th and Orion. Both of those lights have been repaired finally. So we do have to replace some of the new light heads, but the lights are lit. Currently, we did have a location on 221st between Shirley and Paxton and Luella Court. We had 3 lights out over there. One we had gotten up and running on Yates and 221st. The other 2, we had a wire problem, which we fixed and took care of that. So those 2 lights are lit, and those are 3 brand new lights. So anybody wants to take a look at the new lights, there's 3 of them right there in that end of the street. Ongoing, with the weather conditions, last 1 month ago, I reported about some fire hydrants that we were getting prepped. We did not have an opportunity with the weather conditions in the last month to prep those, so we are starting those preps for the 2. One is on 217 Place in Galen, and the other one is at 2036 218. That was it. All right, ash tree removal. As you can see, there are some trees that have been taken down. If you're in the east side of town, we did take down about 20 trees over there, and that will be ongoing throughout the summer. If anybody has something that seems above and beyond, branches falling off it, please call the village hall, and we'll try to address that as quickly as we can. Storm branches throughout the winter. We did have a pretty heavy snowfall about a month ago, and we did have a lot of branches that were weighed down. Any residents who have branches, just the branches, not trees or bring them out for the pickup yet, but just any storm branches, they'll just place them out of the curb, and within the next few days, we'll be picking them up in a couple days in the beginning of next week. But please do not bring out any more than just what is dropped from the trees in the storm. Our first pickup for the year will be May 4th, and then you'll be able to place those at the curb, and we'll pick up anything you take out of the yard. Also, we have day-to-day emergencies we deal with every day, from anywhere from a water main break or a snowstorm, which we've had quite a few lately. That does disrupt our scheduling a lot, which pushes us back. During this time of the year also, when we do have some free days, we do a lot of inside work on the buildings. We've done some work at the police department, the community center, the village hall, and our public works building. So we did get to catch up a little bit on some of the inside work. Potholes, that's this time of year. We're having the thaw right now. We roughly have a good 6 inches of thaw on top of a frost line still. It is the worst time of the year for the streets and parkways or anywhere you might go off road. So please stay on the road, and we will get to the potholes. We're going to be out probably the rest of this week and all of next week. We will go through the town at least once. And this patch is considered a cold patch. It's a temporary patch. So anything that comes out in the next month or so, we should be able to, the plants will open up with a more permanent patch. And we will take care of those. Quiet zones. We have 2 quiet zones in Sauk Village, one in Torrance, one in Cottage Grove. Every season so far, snow season, we've lost some of the delineators, which are just the dividers that you can't drive around. The one at Torrance Avenue, where they're being damaged, we think, by the trucking terminal running them over because the tracks went across them. But there were 5 damaged, 3 were replaced, the other 2 are still okay, so they're upright. And there was 1 knocked down over on Cottage Grove that had been replaced, so the quiet zones are still in effect. Water, we started our north side shutoff list, and we also have been back out doing our jets and digs on the ones that we have problems getting on. And the final thing is Sauk Village. During this time of year in the winter time, with the snow being as much as the last few years, we have a lot of accumulation of garbage and piles of snow. And you won't see that until it melts. And we've had a very long season, so the garbage is accumulated. I just ask that please the residents help us. We will definitely clean our locations if you clean yours, and remind all your neighbors to clean up. Very appreciative, and ask them don't dump it in the street because the street sweeper won't be out for at least another month and a half. So thank you, and that's my report.
Yes, Kevin, I have a question. The Clean Harbor, that rental trailer, are we still utilizing that, or are we through utilizing that rental trailer that's over there?
The air stripper and the trailer has been disconnected, so technically we're not using it anymore.
Thank you. Just want to make sure so we can pay.
As of the 15th of the month.
Okay.
All right. Go to Administrative Services Director Sherry Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to go over a few things. For the month of January, Code wrote 85 tickets, and in February, 61. Ella's Laundromat officially closed last week, so they're no longer in business. Advanced Auto, their roof has been leaking, so the plaza owner has hired a licensed contractor, and they have come in and they pulled a permit today, so they'll be starting work on that roof. And business renewal letters will start going out Monday, which are going to need the fire department to start licensing, and also the invoices for the vending machines. And then on April 10th, I'm going to start sending out the renewals for the contractors' licenses. So it's going to be a busy season for you and Debbie to sign licenses. And that concludes my report.
Okay, I never complain when I sign a license. So,
Give me a stamper, I'll stamp your name.
no, that's all right, I know the sign. You know what that stamp is now? So thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to say, last time when we met with the committee of the whole, I had asked if it would be okay if I had talked to the owner of that property over there, and, you know, it was to my discretion, so I did talk to Mr. Duncan at length, and he just wanted me to share some sentiments that he shared with me. He said that he hadn't heard about any of those things that those companies needed, that he didn't know anything about that, and that nobody really told it to him. And I also mentioned to him about, you know, the different allegations that the owners had about no heat and the bathroom not working and the doors not working, and about you know, the roof leaking. And he said that he was going to take a look in Advanced Auto, but he said that he had reached out an olive branch, and he named the businesses. I'm not going to name them all, but he said he had reached out an olive branch to those owners before they left. He offered them to cut their rent in half. He also made them other incentives to stay in Sauk Village, but every one of those business owners told him that it just wasn't profitable to be here because the people in the village are not patronizing their business enough for them to make enough money to keep their doors open. But it was certainly not because of anything that he was not doing as a landlord. So I told him that I would express that to the board and the mayor tonight in open meeting, and he said that that would be fine, but he is willing to talk to and to work with anybody, and just call him. He is available. So he just wants you all to know he tried to keep those businesses here, even offering to cut all of their rent in half a month, but they still opted to leave because of poor support from the people that live in the village.
Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, trustee, is it possible, since you was able to contact him, I couldn't get him, can you have him come and have a meeting with us, if at all possible, we can meet with him?
Well, I would certainly call him Trustee Burgess, and I would ask him, how do you want to meet with him? In committee of the whole, or you want to meet with him in executive session?
We can meet him one-on-one, two-on-two, or whatever here in the village hall, whatever time he can make it. I'm sure if he gives us a time, we can try to make it whatever time he can get here.
But not executive session.
No.
Okay, so just ask him if he could come and meet with the committee of the whole.
If he wants to meet with the committee of the whole, or if he doesn't feel comfortable standing before the board, before the residents, he can come meet with the trustees, set up some times for a couple of trustees to meet with them, and I have no problem.
Okay.
Just let me know the dates and the committee meeting. Make sure it's the night we have committee meeting, because like the first one in April, there's no committee meeting because of the elections.
Okay.
One more committee meeting in March, that's the 17th, and then the next committee meeting is not until April 21st. So if you'd like to see if either one of those days are available.
Okay, just give them to me before we get to that, and I'll call him tomorrow, and I'll see which one of those meetings he can make.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that he did get someone to come in and fix that roof with Advanced Auto.
Sherry, I did have another question. Sherry, the update on the daycare, school daycare at the end of the plaza right there. Is there any update?
No, there's nothing yet, so
Okay,
as soon as there is, I'll let you know.
thank you.
They're gonna move next door to the shops, right?
Yeah, they're taking up a few of those empty stores, that's correct.
Right, because he did tell me that in conversating with him that the daycare was going to be taking 2 of those stores up
Right, she's the one that's running the daycare.
that we currently have by Tony's,
Yeah.
not by Tony's, by Carnival, by the liquor store.
Yes.
How about next to Walgreens?
Right.
All right. Move to the next finance director, Mr. Raoul.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There are a couple of things. We have started receiving the tax levy money, slowly coming in. And the second thing is I have already transferred the money over to where we borrowed from, approximately about $415,000 have been transferred back to the appropriate funds. The next thing is the financials, the February financials will be available within another 10-15 days. The Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity report that is due on March 31st will be done within another 5 to 10 days. That ends my report.
Again, Mr. Mayor, did I hear that you reimbursed the tower? I mean, not the tower, the noise mitigation.
Yeah. All right, move to Sauk Village Homeland Security Agency Director Kurt Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the last 2 weeks, as we responded to 14 incidents, 1 vehicle accident, 5 fire alarms, 4 school patrols, 2 CO alarms, 1 stove fire, and 1 electrical fire. And that concludes my report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Move to Human Relations Commission, Commissioner Steve Shimkus.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to report that the next meeting of the Human Relations Commission is on April 6th at 7 p.m. here in the Village Hall. And in between that time, we have a diversity dinner. And to find out about it, you've got to get one of the applications on the back table or talk to me or Frank Williams after the meeting. And what the diversity dinner is, it's an informal dinner where we get together with a bunch of people, talk about diversity, and you end up finding out just how much the same you are. And it's pretty good. We had a diversity dinner at the senior center, and it turned out pretty well. And a lot of discussion, and for people who might not feel comfortable in a open setting, it's in a private home. And that's what people do. They get together and they discuss the diversity and they acclimate other people to it. And it's a real comfortable setting. And like I'm saying, our next meeting is on April 6th, first Monday of every month at 7 p.m. And the deadline for that diversity dinner is 3/21. So hurry up and get your applications in. And also, we are still looking for another commissioner to fill a vacancy. Please get your letters of interest to Mayor Hanks, and we'd like to fill that seat as soon as possible. Thank you. That's my report.
Okay. Who's Housing Commission?
No report at this time.
All right, thank you. The Senior Committee, Chairperson Roseland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The three village-sponsored senior organizations have resumed their regular schedule now as spring is coming. Seniors 50 and older are welcome to visit prior to joining one or more organizations. The Monday Sunshiners are having a St. Pat's potluck dinner on March 16th. Leisure Timer will have their corned beef and cabbage meal on March 25th. The Sunday Fun Club would like to thank the candidates and village trustees and public who attended the forum Saturday. We do apologize to one of our taxpayers who is providing public service, who is harassed at both the forum on Thursday and Saturday. Of course, on Thursday, one event was shown on video. Fun Club basic line dance instruction will resume as needed. Sauk Village Bluegrass continues Sunday, 6 to 10 p.m. The Silver Sneaker classes continues every Tuesday at 10 a.m. They have another formatted class will begin at 11:15. The open senior activity is this Friday, March 13th, from 12 to 3 p.m. The paperback book exchange program continues to be successful, and we want to thank you for all the continuous donors and participants. Special thanks go to Nadine Morgan. She's the wife of committee member Floyd for assistance in filing books. This Saturday, March 14th, is the committee's 7th annual chili cook-off. There will be line dance instructions at noon, live entertainment, door prizes, 50-50 raffle. Chili chefs are still welcome for monetary prizes. You can see flyers in the back there for detailed information. The next Boone Township Senior Community Lunch, It's Your Birthday, is featuring the Peter Carlo Trio on Tuesday, March 24th. Limited tickets are on sale at the Township office through March 17th unless they're sold out. They have other programs. They have 2015 trips to the casino, Brookview Zoo, the planetarium, aquarium, botanical garden. They do have basic line dance classes, the 4-week sessions at $8. They have Wednesday and Friday chair exercise, free legal assistant, blood pressure screening, art, smart driving courses, health insurance assistant, especially if you have questions on Medicare Part D. They have income tax preparation by appointment only, low-cost senior wheels, transportation, 708-754-8200. They do have walkers available from their loan closet. So for any additional information, you can call Boone Township, 708-754-9400, extension 244 for additional information and or services. The next senior committee meeting will be this Thursday, March 12th at 5 p.m. Thank you. This ends my report.
Thank you. Move to consent agenda. I'd ask if there's anything that any trustees would like to have removed.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we move item 6C, 6D to new business, please.
Got a motion and a second to remove items C and D. Will be moved to new business. Item C will be now item 7B, and item D will now be item 7C. Got a motion and a second. Do you have questions or comments or anything that you'd like to have removed from the consent agenda or hearing none, I would ask the clerk please call roll.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskett.
Yes.
Washington. Yes. Williams.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Back to the consent agenda. If there's nothing, I would ask for a motion to approve consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion second. Will clerk please call roll.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskett.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. I move to item number 7, new business. Item A, motion to approve accounts payable and disbursements for February 25th, 2015 through March 10th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I ask the clerk please call roll.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskett.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. Move to item 7B, a motion to approve special meeting minutes of February 17th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call roll.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskett.
Yes.
Washington. Yes. Williams.
Move to item, motion carries. Move to item 7C, motion to approve and hold executive session minutes of February 17th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call roll.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskett.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Williams.
Motion carries. Move to item number 8, miscellaneous comments from the Mayor and Board of Trustees. Trustee Williams.
Thank you. Just as a reminder, anybody who submits an essay for Student Government Day, the essays are due by Friday the 27th. Submit it to me electronically, please. Email? No, for Student Government Day.
For your own personal report.
Yeah, or if you do a report, so if you do for your committee, if you have multiple committees, then we need multiple reports. Please and thank you. We did that, that was 27th, Friday.
If there's any trustees that's not going to be here, if you would please let the trustee know so she can plan accordingly for the individual that's going to be sitting in your seat. All right?
And don't forget that day that we would like you to be here by 6:15 at the latest for pictures. Thank you very much.
Which
It's
are-
the 40th anniversary, so.
Yeah, so we're expecting a lot of people. We're trying, well, the agenda will probably be pretty light, if you would say. We're not looking to have anything on there that's going to be controversial. So as we prepare for it, if there's something that, as a trustee, you're looking to vote against, please let me know, because we don't want to have put the kids in that situation going against something while the rest of them, their peers are voting in favor of it. So we also want to make sure that you get the accounts payable early prior to that. So if we have to make any changes to accounts payable prior to the student government night, let's make sure that we get that taken care of also. So again, remember, that night is for the kids, so we want to make it as painless as possible for them, but something they can enjoy and look back on. And hopefully, you never know, some of those kids that sat on student government nights years ago ended up being trustees here in Sauk Village. So something that they may come back and want to be, or at least, try to get elected for. So, anything else?
That's
Trustee Myers.
I have one question for Kevin. A while back, a couple of years back, he was able to pick up some energy saving light bulbs, some ComEd. Do we still have a contact? Because we're starting to see a big play towards moving the lights on at night to keep the crime rate down. And that sure would help the neighborhood watch community and the entire town if we can see if we can get a few more of those bulbs handed out to the residents. Did you check?
I can definitely check into it. I know we don't have any more left. It's been probably about 6 years now, so I'll look into it.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee, if you would get a letter from the Neighborhood Watch Committee on letter requesting if ComEd has any light bulbs, and you can write a sign about it. I will sign it from the mayor's office, but also from the Neighborhood Watch Committee.
We're going to have the clerk track that letter and pass it out down to your office and sign it. You ship it out.
As long as you get it on my desk, I'll sign it.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Trustee Martin.
That's all.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to let the residents know, this past Saturday, I had the pleasure of meeting with and being in Tinley Park with Senator Hastings. And just to let the residents know, I was talking to Senator Hastings about our community. I know he doesn't represent us, but you know he is a senator. He is listening, and he basically told me any questions that I ever had, I could give him a call as well. And I was talking about the program. The mayor was talking about the LDGF program, the funds that the mayor is talking, or I'm sorry, the governor is addressing. And I just stressed to the senator how much that we definitely want to vote no for that. We need our funds desperately, so just let the residents know I am out, I am working for you all over Cook County and other municipalities and here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Pastor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to remind everybody of the Mascatoli dinner fundraiser. It will be Sunday, March 22nd at the Community Center from 2 to 5 p.m. This is a fundraiser to help the two girls, Tabitha Anderson and Rebecca Atwood, who are going on a mission trip. It's $5, and it will be available at the door. That includes mascatoli, salad, bread, and a drink. Tickets will be available to purchase in advance and at the door, and there will also be a silent auction and a bake sale. So just want to remind everybody of that. It's a good cause, so please try to help out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Washington.
Thank you, Mayor. Just two quick things. One, the other committee that Trustee Myers is chairing, the Debt Recovery Committee, it was sanctioned by the board, right? Yes. Will it be on the agenda for you to give a report on that at these meetings?
I did a report on the ordinance review tonight, and I gave a update on the debt recovery committee.
I know, that's why I'm asking, will you be doing that at all of the meetings? At these meetings, will you be giving some kind of report on the other committee, although it's not listed on here?
Basically, I'll be giving a report on those, yes.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask Chief Olivas, what is the procedure for us? It came up at the neighborhood watch meeting yesterday, and I had told them previously when I had spoken to you, any officer or anyone from the police department cannot just come to a neighborhood watch meeting without getting permission from you, the chief. Because if they come on their own and it's their working schedule, then that's one thing that you have to know, that they're not on the streets or whatever, that they're there. They have to that you know first, and then if they're off work and they're coming, they could be considered as overtime. So I just want to make sure that I did give the neighborhood watch committee the right information. No officer can come to the neighborhood watch meeting that we have unless it's first approved by you. Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Bridges.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to let everyone know next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, we will have our town hall meeting. We'll be right here from 7 to 8:30. Please come out. It's going to be very informative. So bring your questions, bring your concerns, and hope to see you there. That's next Wednesday, March 18th, here at Village Hall from 7 to 8:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Just want to run through some of these things really quick here. On March the 21st, there's a community pancake breakfast, which is being held at Blue Trail from 10 o'clock to 12 p.m. I made an announcement for that. Congresswoman Kelly is hosting a college savings night on April the 2nd, 2015. It's going to be held at Madison Public Library from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. She's also hosting a housing expo, which is on the 14th also. There's a lot going on the 14th. That's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's going to be at New Faith Baptist Church at 25 Central Avenue in Matson, Illinois. And there's some more things that we talk about. Just so the board knows, there's going to be a lobby day down in Springfield on April 29th. It's an all-day event. It's where we're trying to get as many elected officials down in Springfield. If you're free on the 29th, I need to know. And if you'd like to go to this event, I'll bring it up to the board. This is usually something that I attend, or we're trying to get as many elected officials down in Springfield on that day. So please let me know so we can plan accordingly. But it's April 29th. It's an all-day event. And lastly, been a lot of talk about the budget, where we're at on the budget. On the mayor's Facebook page, you can go out there and you can see I put a stoplight versus on the budget and where we're at. And again, the board should make sure you take a look and understand. You know, red light is something we need to definitely take a look at. Green light is good. Yellow light is a caution. When we look at the budget as a whole, if you break it down by funds, this is through January. We still have 3 months left in the budget. Every fund right now is currently in the green light. If you take a look at the general fund as a total, the general fund expenditures as of January was $5.7 million versus a budget of $6.7 million. Fire fund, as of January, expenditures were $571,000 versus a budget of $590,000. Water fund, a budget of $4.4 million versus the expenditures of $4.4 million versus a budget of $5.2 million. And sewer fund has only spent $614,000 versus a budget of $721,000. There was a lot of talk about the budgets, and then there's a lot of talk about line items. There is line items over. There's a lot of things that, again, if you got questions coming, we can tell you exactly why they're over. We figured last year's budget was passed before we had negotiations with our unions. We went off and our union contracts were negotiated. Some of these went back all the way to 2012. Union employees had to be paid back 2012 every year that they got raises for those contracts. We had to go back and give them those raises. We had to go back and give them other things that were involved in those contracts. So we're over in those areas. We also settled on some important litigation last year. And again, those are things that's hard to budget for, but we ended up getting that litigation off our books and ended up settling on those. So if you look at areas in the budget, we looked at the funds, and give an example. The general fund covers administration, elected officials, public grounds and buildings, police department, community development, as the street, playground, audits, insurance, dispatch center. Again, covers all those areas underneath that one fund. But if you break it down, looking at some of these, under administration only, I'm giving administration a red light. Okay, I do that because as of January, our expenditures under administration are $1.8 million versus a budget of $1.6 million. Again, there was things that we're not budgeted for that we got off our books. So are we over? Yes, we're over as of January by a couple $100,000. But again, we've settled. Again, you look at our overtime in our departments. You look at, we're not filling positions in our departments. So as departments, the people have left. We've lost some because of deaths in some of our departments. We did not fill those positions. The fire department alone, I was talking to the fire chief. The fire chief has opened up the fire department for warning stations. Things that we've done in the last couple of years that we've never done before, really. And we had 2 bad winters. So, again, we've got stuff that we're doing. Again, as we're looking at this next contract, this next budget, we are looking at stuff like this. But the police department, Ontario police departments have got a green light. Police department expenditures are $2.6 million versus nearly a $3 million budget instead of 3 months ago. I've given the fire department the OA, I talked to the fire chief about it. That while they're within the amount that they're supposed to spend, expenditures of $571,000 versus a budget of $590,000 as of January, we still have not received $271,000 for that budget. So right now, currently, you can almost say that the fire fund right now is running off the general fund, is helping the fire fund until those funds come in. So it's a yellow light. You know, we're pretty confident that we're going to see those funds come in, but we haven't received them yet. So as the green light, you know, expenditures of $52,000 versus a budget of $54,000. Streets, a budget of $37,000, they only spent about $10,000 as of January. You know, water department is $4.5 million, sewer, $614,000 versus a budget of $721,000. So when you hear things out there, people want to talk about the budget. And, you know, we heard everything about how we were going to go bankrupt. We heard how we were not going to be able to make payroll. You know, we got a good person at the finance director. He had a lot less hair than he had when he started. And he's getting a lot less sleep because he can't sleep at night. And I think he keeps a bottle of Pepto-Bismol next to his chair. But, you know, he's watching this very closely. I know the department heads wish they had more money coming toward them. But you know what? While we're watching this budget very closely, we're trying to make sure we spend your money wisely. So, you know, again, there's a lot of talk out there in the streets. And then people are trying to rile people up. You know, if you don't believe me, go to the front window and ask for a budget. You know, and look at the bottom line number. You know, people want to pick on line items. Okay, we're over on certain line items, so we can tell you why. There's reasons for it. Ask. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking why. But this is something that, you know, we've done this year because, you know, when I hear stuff, I want to see how true it is. Someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, your budget's way out of proportion." Well, first thing I'm doing is I'm pulling the budget and saying, "We're not out of proportion." So, you know, this is something that we're probably going to start putting out quarterly, so that we can have this information out there for the residents. Because I think you probably need to see this stuff. But sometimes people can say stuff that's not true, and people believe them. So it's on the Mayor's Facebook page if you want to take a look at it. We'll be putting another one out. Talk about budgets real quick. I wanted to have a budget for this village board already, but with the governor coming out with his cuts, looking very close at the budget this next year. It's a very tough budget. I met with mayors. I met with mayors yesterday. I'll be meeting with mayors again tomorrow night, and I'll be meeting with mayors in the surrounding communities on Friday when we get together and meet with the governor. Talking with some of the governors, talking with some of the mayors, you know, this hits all of us, you know, throughout the entire state of Illinois, with the cuts that the governor's talking about. Some of the mayors have already had budgets already passed within their communities, and now they're looking at going back and changing those. Some of the mayors are where we're on that is we put it on hold to find out exactly what's going to happen. And then some of the mayors are talking about putting together two budgets and passing two budgets. I'm not in favor of passing two budgets, I'll be honest with you, but they're talking about passing one budget as if they're going to receive all the funds that they're supposed to receive. They're talking about passing a second budget right along with it, as if the governor's cuts continue to stay where they're at. That's a little bit difficult, you know, the way I look at it. So we are planning accordingly on this budget, taking the governor's cuts very seriously, and how it's going to affect our community, the services that we provide. We have to take the cuts very seriously. So, again, I've taken a little bit of time off work this week so that, you know, I can represent you, the residents of Sauk Village, and I don't have a problem with it, because, you know, I'm a resident of Sauk Village also. So, taking time off at work, so I can be at these meetings, so I can get all the information, so that, you know, when we come back and work on these budgets this next year, that it's something that we can live with. And it's going to be tough. And again, at the appropriations hearing yesterday, this last thing I want to say is, you know, there were some of the senators saying we all need to take a haircut. And that was their saying yesterday. You know, they all got this, you know, we all have to have a haircut. But you had some senators up there, and Senator Hastings was one of those. You know, he comes from, his father's a mayor, so he understands. You've got other senators out there that have been in municipalities where they've been aldermen, they've been trustees, so they understand the revenues and stuff and how we use that money. So there were senators sitting up there that were listening, while there are senators up there thinking that they can just take the money, it's not going to affect us. It's not going to affect the small communities, it's going to. So, keep a close eye on it. You know, and again, if you get a chance, go out to, I know IML has a site on Facebook, they also have a website. Go out to those websites, and I would encourage residents, and I've already encouraged the village board, go out there and click on that link and oppose those cuts that the governor is presenting and proposing to the House and Senate. So, yes.
I apologize to the Mayor and the Board. I forgot to mention something, and it's more or less almost on a personal note. The forum, I missed the last forum, and I truly apologize for that. I know it's been on Facebook that I don't care. I do care, and that hits me personally because I do care. I have a family. I'm working. Work called. I went and made money on that Saturday, and also Saturday night, I also worked as well in the Sunday morning. Ms. Langston was aware of it. I told more than one person what was happening, but to the residents, I'm sorry. I apologize for not being there to take your questions. I have a phone number. It's out there. Call me. I have a phone number here. Call me, leave a message, email me, tell me your questions, tell me your concerns. I'll answer you. But again, I truly am very sorry that I was not there. I do apologize. Thank you.
Please proceed. With that said, I ask for motion to adjourn. Motion second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.